The 1970s, a decade when car makers threw out the rulebook. When power wasn't just a number, it was a statement. A time when American muscle, European exotics, and experimental marvels were built to do one thing: go fast. Today, we count down the fastest 0 to 60 mile-an-hour monsters from the 1970s. From brutal big blocks to screaming flat sixes, and even a jet-powered Corvette. These are the cars that defined an era of speed, style, and unfiltered adrenaline. Number 40, 1975 Ford Pinto RS, 6.4 seconds. At the bottom of our list, we have the 1975 Ford Pinto RS. This economy car was powered by a 2.3-liter inline-4 engine, producing 88 horsepower and 120 foot-pounds of torque. It featured a 4-speed manual transmission and a lightweight unibody design. The Pinto's rear suspension consisted of leaf springs and a solid axle, offering simplicity but not much refinement. While not a performance legend, its 6.4-second 0 to 60 mile/hour time was impressive for a budget-friendly car of the era. Affordable and compact, yet fun to drive, the Pinto RS delivered modest thrills without breaking the bank. Number 39, 1973 Tomaso Pantera GTS, 6.4 seconds. Tied with the Pinto in 0 to 60 mile/hour time, the 1973 Tomaso Pantera GTS was in a league of its own in design and performance. Under the hood sat a 351 cubic inch Ford Cleveland V8, pumping out 330 horsepower and 325 foot-pounds of torque. This mid-engine Italian-American hybrid featured a 5-speed ZF manual transmission, giving it excellent weight distribution and driving dynamics. The Pantera GTS used independent suspension with coil springs, double wishbones, and anti-roll bars, providing nimble handling. Its exotic wedge-shaped body was designed by Ghia, and the Pantera turned heads wherever it went. A fusion of Italian styling and American muscle. Number 38, 1970 Buick GSX Stage 1, 6.2 seconds. The 1970 Buick GSX Stage 1 was a heavyweight bruiser in the muscle car wars. It was powered by a massive 455 cubic inch V8, producing 360 horsepower and an earth-shaking 510 foot-pounds of torque. The highest torque output of any production car that year. Made it to either a 3-speed automatic or a 4-speed manual, this beast was built for straight-line dominance. The GSX Stage 1 featured a heavy-duty suspension with front and rear anti-roll bars and a 12-bolt rear axle for durability. Its bold yellow or white paint scheme with black stripes made it unmistakable. A true street brawler with the heart of a drag racer. Number 37, 1970 Ford Mustang Boss 302, 6.1 seconds. This monster came with a 302 cubic inch high-revving V8, producing 290 horsepower and 290 foot-pounds of torque. Equipped with a 4-speed close-ratio manual transmission, the Boss 302 was built for high-speed handling and agility. The suspension was tuned for cornering, featuring stiffer springs, front and rear anti-roll bars, and staggered rear shocks to reduce axle hop. Distinctive styling cues included the black hood scoop rear spoiler and Boss 302 side stripes. This pony car was a balanced performer, delivering track-ready handling and acceleration. Number 36, 1971 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray 350 LT1, 6.0 seconds. The 1971 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray 350 LT1 was a small block powerhouse. Its 350 cubic inch V8 engine produced 330 horsepower and 360 foot-pounds of torque. The LT1 was equipped with solid lifters, a high-lift camshaft, and a Holley 4-barrel carburetor, making it a high-revving thrill ride. It came with a 4-speed manual transmission and an optional posse traction rear axle. The Corvette's fully independent suspension double wishbones up front and a transverse leaf spring in the rear provided excellent handling and road manners. The sleek Stingray body with its pop-up headlights and distinctive curves made the LT1 a favorite among enthusiasts who wanted small block agility and power. Number 35. 1974 Porsche 911 S Targa, 5.9 seconds. The Targa was a blend of classic design and German engineering precision. Under the rear deck, it featured a 2.7-liter air-cooled flat-six engine producing 175 horsepower and 173 foot-pounds of torque. Equipped with Bosch mechanical fuel injection and a 5-speed manual gearbox, the 911S delivered smooth, responsive power. Its rear-engine layout provided exceptional traction, while the independent suspension with McPherson struts up front and a trailing arm setup in the rear offered nimble handling. The Targa's distinctive removable roof panel combined the best of open-top motoring with the structural rigidity of a coupe, a timeless classic that offered pure driving experience. Number 34. 1970 Lamborghini Miura, 5.9 seconds. This icon is considered by many to be the world's first true supercar. This Miura housed a 4.0-liter V12 engine mounted behind the driver, producing 370 horsepower and 286 foot-pounds of torque, giving it a top speed of 171 miles an hour. Its fully independent suspension with double wishbones, coil springs, and anti-roll bars gave it superb handling. The Miura's stunning design with its low curvy body and pop-up headlights turned heads everywhere, a blend of beauty, innovation, and high performance that defined the supercar genre. Number 33. 1970 Dodge Challenger RT SE 440 6-pack, 5.8 seconds. This beast was a prime example of Mopar muscle. It packed a 440 cubic inch V8 with triple two-barreled carburetors, hence the six-pack name, producing 390 horsepower and 490 foot-pounds of torque. This beast was paired with either a 4-speed manual or a 3-speed automatic transmission. The Challenger's heavy-duty suspension featured torsion bars up front and leaf springs in the rear, providing stability during hard launches. The RT stood for Road Track, and SE Special Edition trim added upscale touches like leather seats and a vinyl roof. With its bold styling, shaker hood scoop, and wide stance, the Challenger was built for street dominance. Number 32. 1970 Chevrolet Camaro Z28, 5.8 seconds. The Z28 was designed with Trans Am racing in mind. At its heart was a high-revving 350 cubic inch LT1 V8 engine, producing 360 horsepower and 380 foot-pounds of torque. This engine featured a Holley 4-barreled carburetor, solid lifters, and a forged steel crankshaft, allowing it to rev confidently past 6,000 RPMs. Mated to a Muncie 4-speed manual transmission, the Z28 delivered power smoothly. Its suspension included stiff front coil springs, rear leaf springs, and front and rear anti-roll bars for excellent cornering capability. Distinctive features like racing stripes, a rear spoiler, and rally wheels made it a street-legal racer, a true driver's car for the performance enthusiast. Number 31. 1971 Ford Mustang Boss 351, 5.8 seconds. The 1971 Ford Mustang Boss 351 was a one-year-only powerhouse. It came equipped with a 351 cubic inch Cleveland V8 producing 330 horsepower and 370 foot-pounds of torque. This engine featured a full-cam 4-barrel carburetor and solid lifters, making it one of the most potent small-block engines of its time. The Boss 351 was paired with a 4-speed manual transmission and a traction-lock rear differential for excellent off-the-line acceleration. Its suspension was race-ready with heavy-duty front coil springs, rear leaf springs, and front and rear anti-roll bars. Unique styling elements like the blacked-out hood, side stripes, and Magnum 500 wheels gave it an aggressive look. The Boss 351 combined straight-line speed with corner carving capability. Number 30, 1970 Buick GS 455 Stage 1 manual, 5.8 seconds. The 1970 Buick GS 455 Stage 1 was a force to be reckoned with on the street. Under the hood was a massive 455 cubic inch V8 pushing out 360 horsepower and a mind-bending 510 foot-pounds of torque. Paired with a 4-speed manual transmission, this Buick delivered neck-snapping acceleration. The heavy-duty suspension featured front coil springs, rear coil springs, and an anti-roll bar for better handling. With its understated styling, the GS 455 was a wolf in sheep's clothing, offering luxury and brutal performance in equal measure. A muscle car that didn't just talk the talk, it walked the walk. Number 29, 1972 Porsche 911 E Targa, 5.8 seconds. The 1972 Porsche 911 E Targa was a classic embodiment of Porsche engineering. Powered by a 2.4-liter air-cooled flat-six engine, it produced 165 horsepower and 151 foot-pounds of torque. The engine used Bosch mechanical fuel injection for smooth power delivery. With its 5-speed manual transmission and rear engine layout, the 911E provided excellent traction and balance. The suspension featured McPherson struts up front and a trailing arm setup in the rear, giving it nimble, responsive handling. The Targa's removable roof panel allowed for open-air driving while maintaining structured rigidity. A blend of style, precision, and driving joy. Number 28, 1974 Porsche 911 S Carrera, 5.8 seconds. The 1974 Porsche 911 S Carrera was a high-performance variant of the iconic 911. Its 2.7-liter air-cooled flat-six engine produced 210 horsepower and 188 foot-pounds of torque. This engine featured mechanical fuel injection and a high-revving character. The 5-speed manual transmission, combined with Porsche's legendary rear engine layout, offered exceptional balance and grip. Its suspension setup included McPherson struts at the front and trailing arms at the rear, providing razor-sharp handling. A perfect mix of classic design, performance, and engineering finesse. Number 27. 1978 Lamborghini Countach LP 400S, 5.8 seconds. The 78 Countach was the definition of futuristic supercar design. Powered by a 4.0-liter V12 mid-engine producing 375 horsepower and 286 foot-pounds of torque, the LP400S featured a 5-speed manual transmission and an independent suspension with double wishbones, coil springs, and anti-roll bars for exceptional handling. Its aggressive wedge-shaped body and wide rear tires gave it an unmistakable presence. This beauty was a rolling piece of sci-fi art that delivering blistering speed and exotic flair. Number 26, 1979 Lamborghini Countach LP400S, 5.8 seconds. The 79 Countach retained the same 4.0-liter V12 engine, producing 375 horsepower and 286 foot-pounds of torque. Like its predecessor, it reached 60 miles an hour in 5.8 seconds. The LP400S introduced wider wheels and flared fenders for a more aggressive stance, improving grip and handling. The Countach's scissor door and angular design made it a poster car for an entire generation, a timeless icon that defined the supercar era. Number 25, 1970 Plymouth Duster, 5.7 seconds. The Duster was proof that muscle cars didn't need to break the bank. Under the hood was a 340 cubic inch V8 producing 275 horsepower, paired with a 4-speed manual transmission. The Duster's lightweight A-body platform and simple leaf spring rear suspension made it quick off the line. Its sporty yet understated design featured a fastback roofline and optional go-faster stripes. a budget-friendly muscle car that delivered big thrills. Number 24, 1971 Ford Mustang 302, 5.7 seconds. This beautiful car was a blend of style, speed, and everyday usability. Powered by a 302 cubic-inch Windsor V8 delivering 210 horsepower and 296 foot-pounds of torque, this pony featured a 3-speed automatic or optional 4-speed manual transmission. Its suspension included front coil springs and rear left springs, providing a balance between comfort and performance. The 1971 model's longer, more aggressive styling made it stand out, and it delivered classic American muscle in a more refined package. Number 23, 1972 Lamborghini Miura SV, 5.7 seconds. The 72 SV Superveloce was the ultimate evolution of Miura. Its 4.0-liter mid-mounted V12 produced 385 horsepower and 295 foot-pounds of torque. The SV featured wide rear tires and improved suspension geometry for better handling. The independent double wishbone suspension with coil springs and anti-roll bars gave it superb cornering ability. The Miura SV's curvaceous body, designed by Marcello Gandini, remains a masterpiece of automotive design, a true icon that set the standard for all supercars to follow. Number 22, 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS 454, 5.7 seconds. The Chevelle SS was a heavyweight in the muscle car wars. Its 454 cubic-inch big block V8, rated at 450 horsepower and 500 foot-pounds of torque, made it one of the most powerful production cars of its time. Paired with a 4-speed Muncie manual transmission, it was unbeatable. The Chevelle's heavy-duty suspension with front coil springs, a rear 4-link setup, and anti-roll bars provided stability during high-speed runs. Bold styling cues like the cowl induction hood and SS badging made sure everyone knew this was a serious machine. Number 21, 1971 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray 454 LS5, 5.7 seconds. The 1971 Stingray delivered a big block punch with style. Its 454 cubic-inch V8 produced 390 horsepower and 500 foot-pounds of torque. Equipped with a 4-speed manual transmission, the Corvette's fully independent suspension gave it excellent handling and ride quality. The LS5's long, low, and wide design with its iconic pop-up headlights and removable T-tops made it a symbol of American performance and freedom. Number 20, 1970 Plymouth AAR Cuda, 5.6 seconds. The 1970 Cuda was a street-legal homage to Trans Am racing. Powered by a 340 cubic-inch V8 with triple 2-barrel carburetors, it produced 290 horsepower and 345 foot-pounds of torque. This high-revving small block was paired with a 4-speed manual transmission. The AAR Cuda featured a lightweight E-body, a fiberglass hood with a functional scoop, and side exit exhaust pipes. Its suspension was upgraded with a front anti-roll bar and rear leaf springs for better handling. A street machine built for corner carving and straight-line speed. Number 19, 1973 Porsche 911 Carrera RSR 2.8, 5.6 seconds. The 1973 Carrera RSR 2.8 was a purebred race car for the road. Its 2.8-liter air-cooled flat-six produced over 300 horsepower and 217 foot-pounds of torque. This lightweight beast featured a close ratio 5-speed manual gearbox and stripped-down interior for weight savings. The RSR suspension was track-tuned with McPherson struts up front, torsion bars on the rear, and wide fender flares to accommodate wider racing tires, making its cornering ability pure magic, a true racer's dream. Number 18, 1973 Porsche 911 Carrera RS 2.7, 5.6 seconds. The 1973 Carrera RS 2.7 was a legendary blend of lightweight engineering and precision performance. Its 2.7-liter flat-six produced 210 horsepower and 188 foot-pounds of torque. Weighing just over 2,400 pounds, it was a bit heavier than the 2.8. This model featured a 5-speed manual transmission, a ducktail rear spoiler for improved aerodynamics, and wider rear wheels for better traction. This version retained some creature comforts like carpeting and sound insulation, making it suitable for both road and track use, a true collector's gem. Number 17, 1976 Ford Grand Torino, 5.5 seconds. The 1976 Torino was a big car with surprising speed. Powered by a 460 cubic inch V8 delivering 220 horsepower and a massive 355 foot-pounds of torque, making it a true threat on the road. This full-size muscle car featured a 3-speed automatic transmission and a rear-wheel drive layout. The suspension consisted of front coil springs and rear leaf springs, providing a balance between comfort and performance. Known for its role in Starsky and Hutch, the Grand Torino combined 1970s style with unexpected muscle car prowess. Number 16, 1970 Buick GS 455 Stage 1, 5.5 seconds. This beast was most definitely a sleeper powerhouse. Under the hood, the 455 cubic inch V8 cranked out 360 horsepower and a whopping 510 foot-pounds of torque. Paired with a 4-speed manual transmission, this luxury muscle car blew the doors off the competition. The suspension featured front coil springs, rear coil springs, and an anti-roll bar offering stability during hard launches. Despite its refined appearance, the GS 455 was one of the torque kings of the muscle car era. Number 15, 1976 Porsche 911-930 Turbo Carrera, 5.5 seconds. The 76 Carrera introduced the world to turbocharged thrills. Its 3.0-liter flat-six engine, boosted by a single Triple K turbocharger, delivered 260 horsepower and 253 foot-pounds of torque. Paired with a 4-speed manual transmission, it could sprint to 60 miles an hour in 5.5 seconds. The wide rear fenders and iconic whale-tail spoiler provided better stability at high speeds. While turbo lag was notorious, when boost hit, it felt like it was getting launched from a slingshot. A thrilling and challenging car to drive. Number 14, 1978 Porsche 911 SC Targa, 5.5 seconds. The 1978 Porsche 911 SC Targa combined classic styling with reliable performance. Its 3.0-liter air-cooled flat-six produced 180 horsepower and 175 foot-pounds of torque. Equipped with a 5-speed manual transmission, it could reach 60 miles an hour in 5.5 seconds. The Targa roof allowed for open-air driving, while the rear engine layout ensured excellent traction. The SC Super Carrera was known for its durability and balance, making it a beloved model among 911 enthusiasts. Number 13, 1976 Lamborghini Urraco P300, 5.5 seconds. The Urraco P300 was Lamborghini's answer to the junior supercar segment. Powered by a 3.0-liter V8 producing 247 horsepower and 195 foot-pounds of torque, it flew down the road. The Urraco featured a mid-engine layout and a 5-speed manual, providing excellent balance and handling. Its independent suspension with double wishbones gave it sharp cornering ability. Compact, agile, and stylish, the Urraco offered a taste of Lamborghini performance in a smaller, more affordable package. Number 12, 1971 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am 455 HO, 5.4 seconds. This iconic Pontiac powerhouse was a muscle car legend. Its 455 cubic inch V8 delivered 335 horsepower and a massive 480 foot-pounds of torque. Paired with a 4-speed manual transmission, it reached 60 miles per hour in 5.4 seconds. The Trans Am featured a heavy-duty suspension, front and rear anti-roll bars, and the iconic shaker hood scoop. With its aggressive styling, rear spoiler, and bold graphics, the Firebird Trans Am was an American icon of speed and style. Number 11. 1978 Ferrari 512 Berlinetta Boxer, 5.4 seconds. The 1978 Ferrari 512 Berlinetta Boxer was a mid-engine masterpiece. Its 5.0-liter flat-12 engine produced 360 horsepower and 333 foot-pounds of torque. Mated to a 5-speed manual transmission, it could hit 60 miles an hour in 5.4 seconds. The 512BB's independent suspension and low center of gravity provided exceptional handling. Its wedge-shaped design and rear-engine layout made it one of the most striking Ferraris of the 1970s. A blend of Italian flair, engineering, and performance. Number 10. 1970 Ferrari 365 GTB Ford Daytona, 5.3 seconds. The 1970 Ferrari 365 GTB Ford Daytona was a grand tourer with racing DNA. Its 4.4-liter V12 produced 352 horsepower and 318 foot-pounds of torque. Paired with a 5-speed manual transmission, it could reach a top speed of 174 miles an hour. The Daytona featured independent suspension, a long hood, and sleek, aggressive styling. A true blend of luxury and performance, it was the ultimate expression of 1970s Ferrari engineering. Number 9. The 1971 Ferrari GTB Ford Daytona, 5.3 seconds. The 1971 Ferrari 365 GTB Ford Daytona carried on the legacy of its predecessor. With the same 4.4-liter V12, it was able to achieve the same output as the previous model. The Daytona's luxurious interior and stunning design made it a favorite among enthusiasts. Whether cruising on the highway or attacking a twisty road, the Daytona delivered an unforgettable driving experience. Number 8. 1970 Ford Mustang Boss 429. 5.3 seconds. The 70 Boss 429 was built to endorse Ford's massive 429 cubic inch V8 for NASCAR. This engine produced 375 horsepower and 450 foot-pounds of torque. Paired with a 4-speed manual transmission, the Boss 429 could hit 60 miles an hour in 5.3 seconds. Its front suspension was modified to fit the massive engine, and it featured a stiff rear axle for straight-line speed. With its aggressive stance, unique hood scoop, and limited production numbers, the Boss 429 was a street-legal NASCAR warrior. Number 7. The 1970 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray 427, 5.3 seconds. The Stingray packed a 427 cubic inch big block V8 producing 390 horsepower and 460 foot-pounds of torque while paired with a 4-speed manual transmission. The Corvette's fully independent suspension and fiberglass body made it a nimble and quick sports car. The long, swooping lines, pop-up headlights, and sheer power made the Stingray a symbol of American performance. Number 6. 1971 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray 454 LS6, 5.3 seconds. The 1971 LS6 was a powerhouse of American performance. Under its sleek fiberglass body was a 454 cubic inch L6 big block V8, producing a jaw-dropping 425 horsepower and 475 foot-pounds of torque. This engine featured a high-lift camshaft, aluminum intake manifold, and a Holley 4-barrel carburetor. Its fully independent suspension with double wishbones up front and traverse leaf spring in the rear provided excellent handling. The Stingray's aggressive styling and pop-up headlights made it an icon of the era. Number 5. 1974 Porsche 911 Carrera RS 3.0, 5.2 seconds. The Carrera RS 3.0 was a track-focused legend. Its 3.0-liter flat-six engine, equipped with Bosch mechanical fuel injection, produced 230 horsepower and 202 foot-pounds of torque. This lightweight marvel weighed just over 2,100 pounds thanks to its stripped-down interior and fiberglass body panels. The Carrera RS 3.0 featured a 5-speed manual gearbox, a wide stance, and flared wheel arches to accommodate larger tires. Its suspension, with McPherson struts up front and a trailing arm setup in the rear, delivered razor-sharp handling. The distinctive ducktail spoiler provided aerodynamic stability, making it a true road-going racer. Number 4. 1978 Porsche 911 930 Turbo, 4.9 seconds. The 1978 Turbo, aka the Widowmaker, brought turbocharged excitement to the streets. Its 3.3-liter turbocharged flat-six produced 265 horsepower and 291 foot-pounds of torque. The addition of an intercooler helped improve performance and reliability. Paired with a 4-speed manual transmission, the 911 Turbo hit 60 miles per hour in 4.9 seconds. The wide rear fenders, iconic whale-tail spoiler, and staggered wheel setup gave it a menacing look. While the turbo lag was notorious, once the boost kicked in, it delivered a thrilling rush of acceleration. A legend that combined raw power with precision engineering. Number 30. 1970 Plymouth Superbird, 4.9 seconds. The 70 Superbird was built to dominate NASCAR and became a street legend in the process. Under the hood was a 426 Hemi V8 producing 425 horsepower and 490 foot-pounds of torque. This engine featured hemispherical combustion chambers and dual 4-barrel carburetors. The Superbird's aerodynamic nose cone and towering rear wing were designed for high-speed stability. Paired with a 4-speed manual or a 3-speed automatic, this winged warrior conquered both the track and the street, an unmistakable icon of the muscle car era. Number 2. 1976 Kemp Mustang Cobra II race car, 4.1 seconds. The 1976 Kemp Mustang Cobra II race car was a stripped-down, purpose-built drag racer. Unlike its street-legal counterparts, this Cobra II was designed purely for speed. Powered by a heavily modified V8 engine, it delivered an estimated 500 horsepower, allowing it to rocket to 60 miles an hour in just 4.1 seconds. Its lightweight body, racing suspension, and drag-slick tires provided maximum traction and acceleration. The Kemp Mustang Cobra II was a no-frills speed machine built to dominate the quarter-mile, a testament to raw American racing ingenuity. Number 1. 1978 Turbine-Powered Chevrolet Corvette, 3.6 seconds. At the top of our list is the experimental 1978 turbine-powered Chevrolet Corvette. Powered by a gas turbine engine, this futuristic Vette produced an estimated 350 horsepower and delivered a jet-like driving experience. The turbine engine's smooth, continuous power delivery launched the Corvette to 60 miles per hour in a blistering 3.6 seconds. Its lightweight fiberglass body and independent suspension helped it handle the power effectively. Though never put into mass production, this experimental Corvette was a glimpse into an alternative future of high-performance propulsion, a concept that blended innovation, speed, and sheer audacity. From the humble Ford Pinto to the turbine-powered Corvette, these cars defined a decade of innovation, power, and style. The 1970s may be gone, but the legends of speed live on.